What's up, everybody? This is a special edition of the Faithful Fanatics. Obviously, we mentioned last Friday on our normally scheduled Faithful Fanatics show that this week would be an off week. Obviously, my co host Dylan Davis is on vacation until next week. So we'll be kicking off our normal morning show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday around 8 a.m. We'll be getting back to that normally scheduled programming next week. Just wanted to touch base today regarding this obvious situation with James Harden. Obviously, Monday morning, we're hit with the news of this clip that comes out from James Harden's trip in China, where he is calling Daryl Morey a liar, mentions that he will never play for an organization that has Daryl Morey a part of it ever again in his career. And these are very damning comments, right, against Daryl Morey, against the Philadelphia 76ers, and against James Harden's future with the duo, right, of the 76ers and Daryl Morey. So I wanted to give my thoughts here. I'll be honest. I'll get out in front here and just say this, man. I'm a confused ass Philadelphia 76ers fan. I don't know what direction this organization should go right now. You have the Harden issues that is going on, the Harden drama of the situation. He wants out of here, and he's going to do whatever it takes to get himself out of this situation with Daryl Morey, who he believes is a liar, right? You have Joel Embiid, excuse me. You have Joel Embiid on Twitter removing Philadelphia from his bio. He removes processing from his bio. But then today, right? We take that for what it is. Then today, Joel Embiid calls Philadelphia his city, our city, and says that we need to welcome in the GOAT the way that we should, the right way, right? And he's talking about Lionel Messi coming to Chester to play the Philadelphia Union today. So seems like he's bought into the city, right? We brought him in as a very young man. We believed in him at a very young age, even through all the injuries, and even to this day with the injuries that have transpired in the last few seasons. We still believe in this man. So it's reassuring, but it's that seesaw game, this tug and pull game with Joel Embiid of, is he trolling? Is he showing signs that he's on the way out the door? Leads to a very confusing time. I also wanted to, comment on the PJ Tucker post on IG. He's talking about, not going to become an acrobat, when it comes to my bros, whatever the song lyric was. He posted a pic of him and James Harden, insinuating he's just not going to turn his back on his homie, right? His brother in James Harden. To that stance is the guy that paid you not Daryl Morey. Now, mind you, James Harden takes that pay cut, and Daryl Morey is able to give those funds to PJ Tucker to fund that contract. But nonetheless, Daryl Morey is the one that gave you those guaranteed funds and ultimately overpaid for PJ Tucker last offseason, right? So interesting. He takes that perspective for a guy that he's also been fairly close with for most of his career. And the biggest thing obviously here is the James Harden and Daryl Morey relationship. That's the biggest issue that is in the room right now. It's the elephant in the room. And it's kind of unbelievable when you look at where these guys have came from, right? Harden being traded to the Houston Rockets. Daryl Morey basically unleashes Harden on the Rockets, allows him to be the focal point of that team. They have some fairly successful seasons in Houston, get to the Western Conference Finals, have a chance there. Obviously, nothing ever came to fruition as far as a championship or even getting to the NBA Finals. But still, that's success, right? That's more success than the Sixers have had of late. And to that point, you think that relationship is smooth. They reunite in Philadelphia in a Ben Simmons trade to Brooklyn. We get James Harden out of Brooklyn where he says he didn't want to be, bring him to Philadelphia where he says this is where he wanted to be. And now we're in this situation now where he's publicly damning Daryl Morey, pinning Daryl Morey to the cross when it comes to his credibility in the NBA. And I just want to make sure I go through all my points. I tried to organize some notes here because, as I mentioned, I'm a very confused Sixers fan right now, and I imagine all of you are as well. Now, there are going to be the people that stand on their bold takes of, it's time to just trade James Harden for whatever you can get for him. And, hopefully you can get through next season. Hopefully Joel Embiid wants to remain part of this team. And then next offseason, you have the two, full max slots that you have available with your salary. with the salary cap in mind. So there's people that stand on that stance. There's people on the other side, which I'll be honest, guys, I'm closer to this side, but I'm not fully standing on that hill. I'm not dying on that hill. I'm closer to this side, though, of the hill, where you trade James Harden, you get what you can for him. You trade Joel Embiid, you get what you can for him, which should be a platoon of draft picks, young talent, and you build around Tyrese Maxey. You trade Tobias, whatever you can get for him. You build around Tyrese Maxey. You build around Paul Reed. And trust me, look, I understand that does not equal a championship. It does not even equal a better chance at a championship. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying build around Tyrese Maxey. You're going to have a better chance at winning a championship than you would if you build around Joel Embiid. I'm not going to that extent. My thought process, the way I'm leaning, is that there is a more peaceful world for me as a Sixers fan, me who is blessed to be a fan of the Philadelphia Phillies that are super successful right now, me being blessed to be a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles, which are super successful right now, me being a fan of the Philadelphia Union, which are super successful, about to take on the GOAT of soccer tonight in Chester, PA, in the semifinals of the Leagues Cup. I'm blessed to be fans of those teams. And I think there's a world where I'm more at peace as a Sixers fan also, where we don't have those lofty expectations that we fall short of every season. We would just be a team that's happy to get to the playoffs, right? The Brooklyn Nets, we would be the Brooklyn Nets with a team built around Tyrese Maxey, young talent, bringing it in, draft picks, right? I'm not there yet. I'm not kicking Embiid out the door. I'm not doing that. Embiid, he's here until he's not. He's here. He's on my good side until he demands a trade from Philadelphia. Once he does that, I'm not supporting him anymore. I know there's Sixers fans out there that think he revived basketball in Philly. I do. I think he revived basketball in Philly, and I thank him for that. But in this revival, we need some higher success here for me to say that I'm going to go and, root for Joel Embiid wherever he goes. I'm not. If he goes to the New York Knicks, I'm not rooting for the New York Knicks. He goes to the LA Lakers. I'm not rooting for the LA Lakers. He goes to Miami Heat and plays with Jimmy Butler. I'm not fucking rooting for the Miami Heat. I'm not rooting for the Boston Celtics if they get Joel Embiid. Mind you, I don't think he would get traded to those teams, but I'm not rooting for him there. So for me to say that I'm going to support Joel Embiid no matter where he goes, no, I'm not falling on that hill. I'm a Sixers fan of players on the Sixers. And until Joel Embiid crosses that line of demanding a trade out of this city, he's going to be on my good side. I'm never going to say that there's a bright side without Joel Embiid, but if I'm being honest, he's teetering on that line, it appears, of wanting out, showing that he wants out, deleting stuff from his Twitter bio, his X bio. He's showing signs of teetering, and I'm teetering. I'm close to the stance of maybe it's time to blow this shit up. Fire Daryl Morey too. Because there is a worry that comes in here with your GM, your president of basketball, being pinned to the cross as a liar by a top 75 player that has a lot of friends in the basketball community, in the NBA community when it comes to players. There's a lot of players that like James Harden and that will take his word at full value. There's a lot of players that will. So it's pretty damning when he comes out in public and says that. But that's not to absolve James Harden here, guys. Like, I know I haven't really even talked about him in this video. I talked about my relationship, my perspective of Embiid. James Harden, right? He's the one that is doing this. And, all the hate aside, right? Like, I'm sick of divas. I think, we've been cursed in Philadelphia to where we've had to go through consecutive bouts with these all-star level, superstar level divas. And, Ben Simmons, right? He was the first guy. And I think our patience is just wearing thin when it comes to James Harden. Now, mind you, he just took a large step in turning on the Sixers organization, obviously turning on Daryl Morey, but turning on the city. And that's where you cross a line that you can't go back, right? He's not going to be on this team. He can't. You see all the rumors that have come out since he said this on camera in China. He's going to make it so that the Sixers organization is completely uncomfortable in training camp. He's going to make it to the point where Embiid will force his way out. My question to Embiid in that regard is, you're going to follow a guy that didn't even come to your wedding. You're going to follow him out the door, right? Make your career decisions based on what he's doing. He didn't even come to your wedding. He was at a club with PJ Tucker. He's at a club with PJ Tucker while you're getting married. Monumental step in your life. This guy that you call one of your best friends, right? One of the best teammates you've ever played with. So if Embiid wants to go that route, I laid that out for you. That is what it is. But James Harden, man, where are you going? What is your future? Like, what is the best case scenario that could come from what you are doing right now, James Harden? The Sixers don't trade you. You get pushed out of the league forever. You don't show up to training camp and you're pushed out of the league. You can't play for another team because the Sixers block you. You go play on the Clippers, whatever level you play at, the Clippers won't be able to really offer you an extension unless they don't offer Paul George and Kawhi Leonard an extension. So you just stay there. Maybe you get the max extension instead of one of those. I doubt it. Maybe you do. This is the third team in about 4 years that he's going to have forced his way off of. Maybe it's unfair to lump the Houston Rockets into that group of three when you talk about a disgruntled player acting like a diva and forcing his way out, but he did it. He did force his way out of Houston. That's where the fat suit came from. The fat suit meme, the fat suit jokes, that's where it came from. Then he forces his way out of Brooklyn. We don't really know why. It seems like it was a play style, but also with Kyrie Irving, that would clash. Now you got Kyrie Irving sticking up for James. What did Daryl Morey lie about? I'm curious. I'm not saying that he didn't lie. What did he lie about? About offering him a contract? Like, James Harden opted into the contract this offseason before Daryl Morey could actually officially, legally offer him an extension. Sure, rumors, whispers, wink winks, those are all factored in. I'm sure it's 2023. People talk off the record. They do that. But that's just what it is. It's off the record. So what did he lie about? You know, James Harden took the pay cut last year. Was it really a pay cut? In my opinion, was it really a pay cut? When you get these basement lows, these incredible lows from this guy, is that really a pay cut? I mean, to each their own. What would he get on the market this year? We don't know because he was scared to opt into free agency. Now, Zach Noble, I did a pod with him earlier today. He made a great point, right? James Harden did do us a favor in a sense by giving us the opportunity to get something back for him in return, him just not walking out the door. But what was really out there if he walked out the door? Did he really do us a favor or did he do himself a favor? Because this is the only way that he can play for the Clippers, right? Is if we trade him there. He couldn't have signed with the Clippers unless he takes a minimum deal like Russell Westbrook. His value isn't that low, I wouldn't say. But what does James Harden look like on the open market? What does James Harden look like on the open market next offseason? A year older. What if he gets injured this season? If he doesn't play this season, is somebody going to sign him to a max contract at the age of 35? It's interesting, man, but it's why I'm confused. It's why I don't know what direction this team can go in. But guess what? I'm fucking tired of talking about the Sixers. I'm tired of them being in the news in the offseason. Why can't we just have a peaceful offseason? Why can't we have a peaceful offseason, Sixers fans? That is my question to you. What gets us a peaceful offseason? What stops taking away attention from the Phillies, from the Union, from the Eagles, right? What stops taking attention from the teams that are actually doing things the right way in this city? We got to get rid of the drama. I don't know if Embiid is this common denominator with the drama. I don't believe that he is. There's nothing you can do about these one-off situations. That's what is blowing my mind. These just one-off situations from Ben Simmons to James Harden. Why did both of these situations have to happen to the Sixers? Situations you don't see happening to really any other organizations. Why does this have to happen to the Sixers, man? I'm confused. This is the last I'm going to talk about it until Dylan comes back next week. We'll obviously rehash it when he gets back. He'll get to share his thoughts, but I'm tired of the Sixers, man. I'm tired. I'm ready to focus on the Phillies. I'm ready to focus on the Eagles. Shit, I'm ready to focus on the rest of the NBA without the drama. I want to talk about basketball. I want to talk about where players want to go, why they want out, why they're upset, why they have to go in public and condemn the fucking GM of their team, the president of their team. It's a shit show. You can go back to the beginning of the offseason where you have Daryl Morey, our own GM, trolling the fan base. Newsflash, that doesn't go well in Philadelphia. Read the goddamn room. God. Theme of this show is read the goddamn room. James Harden, read the goddamn room. You're not valued that highly in the NBA. PJ Tucker, read the goddamn room. We don't care if you're not on the Sixers next year. Joel Embiid, read the goddamn room. Stop trolling your fan base. Stop confusing your fans. Daryl Morey, read the goddamn room. That type of behavior does not fly in Philadelphia. You go out here and you flop this season, man, you'll lose your job because the fans will force it. They'll force you to lose your job. Josh Harris, read the room. Sell the team. Sell the fucking team. Let's get some competency in here. Maybe this dies down in a week. Maybe Harden stops making all this noise, but it doesn't feel like it. Maybe we can move into the season. Maybe this drama will be gone by the time the regular season starts. But man, I am tired of it. Tired of these divas. I'm tired of these divas around the NBA, man. Is it a league problem? If it's a league problem, why is it happening to the Sixers twice? Basically 2 times in a row. You traded one diva for the other, and now you get the same treatment from that other diva when you bring him in, man. It's confusing, guys. My best advice to you all out there as Philadelphia fans, if you are full-on Philadelphia fans, go enjoy the Eagles, man. Go enjoy the Phillies. Go enjoy the Union. Forget about the Sixers for now. Forget about the Sixers until you can anymore. Forget about them. We go out here, we sell out the arenas for every single fucking game, sell out the arenas in the playoffs. We go around with our car flags for the Sixers when they're in the postseason. We go around, we tell every other fan base how good Embiid and Harden were this season, how good Maxey is and was this season. We tell everybody how the Sixers are getting over the hump. They're going to get out of the second round this year, finally. And then they do the same thing. And then they wonder why we're upset. That's all I got for you guys. I wanted to make this a quick little vent session. I know you guys, you may feel differently than me. That is completely more than fine, right? If you still believe that, build around Embiid, win a championship, there's a chance there. I'm not against that. I'm not saying that there isn't. I'm just tired of this behavior. I'm tired of the drama with this organization. I want it to stop. I want it to stop, and whatever it takes to make that stop, I'm curious what it is. Whatever it takes to make that stop, it needs to happen. But that is all I got for you guys. We'll end it on a positive note. Go Union tonight. Take down the Inter Miami squad led by the GOAT, Leo Messi. But nonetheless, have a great rest of your Tuesday evening there, guys. And of course, as always, it is go Sixers, but not right now. Go Birds, go Fightins, go Union, doop, doop, doop. Let's get it. Got to give our flowers to the rest of the city that is doing it the right way. We cannot divulge this attention to this dismal organization. Guys, have a great rest of your evening there. Hopefully, you have some good dinner to end this day on a high note. And like I said, forget about the Sixers. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on the DSM Media YouTube channel. Turn those notifications on. That is the DSM Media / Philadelphia YouTube channel, where you're going to find all of our Philly content, including the Faithful Fanatics Morning Show. And of course, you can find me at Scotty Drown on all social media platforms. That's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. And be sure to share your thoughts in the comments. I want to make sure I mention that. I am interested to hear you guys, hear your feedback, hear where you guys are at with the Philadelphia 76ers right now. But we are in a bad spot, guys. Bad spot with the Sixers, but not a bad spot with the Philadelphia sports spectrum. Let's get it. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody. Peace.